I, 32, was supposed to get married last weekend to my fiancée Julia, 29F. We'd been together 5 years, engaged for 3, living together for most of it. I thought she was my forever. 2 weeks before the wedding, Julia went on her Bachelorette trip to Miami with 7 of her girlfriends. I wasn't concerned. Standard stuff. Drinks, clubs, maybe a stripper. We trusted each other. I even dropped her off at the airport, kissed her goodbye, and told her to have fun. She texted me throughout, said she missed me, said they were having a blast. She came back Sunday, looked tired but happy, said she was glad to be home. Then, 3 days before the wedding, I got a text from an unknown number. You should see what your fiancé did in Miami. She's not who you think she is. Attached was a video. I almost ignored it, thought it was a scam, but curiosity, or something deeper, made me watch. 3 minutes and 42 seconds. That's all it took to destroy everything. There she was, in a hotel room. 2 men. No hesitation, no confusion. She was fully engaged, smiling, laughing, looking at the camera. What happens in Miami stays in Miami, right? I didn't confront her. Not right away. I couldn't. I spent the night in our spare room, told her I wasn't feeling well. The next morning, while she was at her final dress fitting, I showed the video to my best man, Tony. He was stunned. So was I. I'm not marrying her, I said. While she was out, I packed the essentials. Left her a note. I know what happened in Miami. The wedding is off. I left my key and her ring on top of it. I moved in with Tony, turned off my phone. When I turned it back on Saturday, what would have been our wedding day, I had 47 missed calls, over 60 texts, from her family, mutual friends, Julia's. Messages ranged from confusion, "Where are you?" to panic, "Please call me," to confession, "I made a terrible mistake," to denial, anger, begging. Her parents called too. First furious, then silent, once she finally told them the truth. I sent out one message to our wedding guests. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the wedding has been canceled. I apologize for the inconvenience. Then I texted Julia. There's nothing to discuss. It's over. 2 weeks later, I found out who sent the video. One of the guys from Miami had a girlfriend. He'd bragged about what happened. She found the video on his phone, tracked me down, and sent it. Grateful doesn't begin to cover it. Julia kept trying to reach me. She eventually showed up at my apartment, sobbing. I let her in, more to avoid a hallway scene than anything else. She gave me the usual excuses. I was drunk. It didn't mean anything. I love you. I made a mistake. But the more she talked, the more truth leaked out. They'd met the guys the night before. There'd been flirting, planning. She'd even made out with one of them earlier that weekend. It wasn't a one-time lapse. It was a conscious series of decisions. Worse, her bridesmaids encouraged it. Some filmed it. These were women who were supposed to stand next to us at the altar. People I trusted. When I pointed that out, she shrugged. It's normal to have a last fling before marriage. Lots of people do it. That's when I snapped. Normal? Betraying the person you love on camera a week before your wedding is normal? She started crying harder. Said I was being cruel. That if I really loved her, I'd try to forgive her. If you really loved me, you wouldn't have slept with 2 guys at your bachelorette party. She left, but not before dropping a parting shot. You'll regret throwing away everything we built over one mistake. It didn't sound like remorse. It sounded like a threat. 1 month later, Julia had a breakdown. Her sister said she was hospitalized for severe anxiety and depression. Now her family blames me, says I'm cruel for refusing to reconcile. But I didn't do this. She did. One of the men from that night married. his wife found out. She somehow got my number, called me. We talked for hours, two strangers bonded by the same betrayal. We're meeting for coffee next week. Not a date, just mutual understanding. The financial fallout's still a nightmare. Julia's father showed up at my office demanding I cover wedding costs. Caused a scene. Security had to remove him. Now I've got a lawyer sorting out the mess. We hadn't closed on the house, thank God. But the stress is relentless. Some mutual friends believe her side. Claim I'm cold, unforgiving, even abusive. That I ran away instead of talking it through. But the people who matter, they've stood by me. Tony's been a rock. I'm seeing a therapist, working out, trying to rebuild. I still get flashes of that video, still wake up with a pit in my stomach. But I've blocked Julia everywhere. Told mutuals not to update me on her life. I'll never release the video. I don't want revenge. I want peace. I found out who she really was before I married her. It hurts, but I'm grateful for that. We had a shared savings account, around $31,000 set aside for our wedding, honeymoon, and a down payment on our future home. When I left, I only withdrew half. I'd contributed more, but I didn't want to argue. Now Julia's accusing me of theft, claiming I emptied our account without telling her. My attorney says I'm completely within my rights. Still, the drama is exhausting. The social fallout? Worse. Her bridesmaids have launched a full-on PR campaign against me. According to their twisted version, I walked out on her over one harmless, drunken kiss. They conveniently skip over the threesome part. When I bring it up, I'm accused of slut-shaming and told that what happens at a bachelorette party should stay there. Apparently, loyalty now means tolerating betrayal. Friends have picked sides. Some buy her version. Others tell me I should just forgive and forget, that I should have fought harder for our relationship. As if respect for myself is a character flaw. Her cousin even went online, painting Julia as a heartbroken woman discarded by a man too fragile to forgive. A single mistake. That mistake. Sleeping with two men on camera a week before our wedding. But sure, I'm the villain, for choosing dignity. There's some light, though. I've been in therapy. It's helping. I started working out again, catching up with friends I lost touch with while I was busy being her emotional support system. I'm even taking 2 weeks off to hike solo in Colorado. I need space, literal and emotional, to rebuild. I've been sorting through our apartment, boxing up Julia's belongings. She hasn't picked up most of it. Each time I find a sweater, a dog-eared book, or her favorite coffee mug, it cuts. We were together 5 years. And no, they weren't all terrible. There were real moments, which makes the betrayal worse. The woman I loved never existed, just a version she wore well. One friend said I dodged a bullet, that if she could do this now, she'd almost certainly have done worse later. They're probably right. Still hurts. I've been combing through memories, trying to find signs. There were none, at least none I recognized. Some people ask if I regret walking out without confrontation. I don't. I was in shock. I wasn't in a place to think, let alone speak. Leaving gave me space to breathe, think, and not explode. I'm surviving. Some mornings are fine, some aren't. Sometimes I wake up forgetting it happened, until reality crashes back. But the pain dulls a little each day. 3 months later, I wasn't going to post again. But then things escalated. I met up with Valerie, the wife of one of the men from that night. We got coffee. Then we got coffee again. There was chemistry, but we both recognized it as trauma bonding, not something real. For now, it's friendship. It's been good to have someone who gets it. Then came the bombshell. Julia showed up at my door, visibly pregnant. She claims I'm the father. Says she's about 4 months along, which aligns with the week of her Bachelorette trip. She swears we had sex the night before she left. I honestly don't remember. Wedding prep made that week a blur. I told her I want a paternity test. She exploded. Accused me of adding insult to injury. But I'm not playing house with someone who's already betrayed me and could be lying again. If the child is mine, I'll step up. But I won't accept fatherhood on her word alone. She thinks this changes everything, that a baby resets the scoreboard. She even suggested we try again for the child's sake. I shut it down cold. Relationship over. Permanently. Her family went nuclear, calling me a deadbeat before we even have results. Funny how their outrage doesn't extend to Julia's lies. Financially, things finally closed. We settled. Neither of us is happy about it, which probably means it's fair. The house we were planning to buy fell through, which I'm now grateful for. I found a new place I actually like. Socially, the noise continues, but it's quieter. More people are questioning her version. Now, some who initially sided with her have reached out to apologize after learning what really happened from others at the party. Turns out not everyone there supported what went down. Even Lexi, one of Julia's bridesmaids, called to apologize. She admitted she filmed the video, said she regrets everything and revealed something new. Cocaine was involved that weekend. A lot of it. Things spiraled. Still doesn't excuse it. But it explains the chaos. Then came another gut punch. Lexi told me this wasn't Julia's first time. 2 years ago, she hooked up with a coworker. Her friends helped her cover it up. That wasn't some Bachelorette slip. That was a pattern. I needed that truth. I'd been doubting myself, questioning whether I overreacted. I didn't. I made the right call. Colorado was healing. Therapy is working. I've been dating again, lightly, nothing serious. Just reminders that there's life after heartbreak. But the waiting for the paternity test? Torture. 6 months later. The results are in. I'm not the father. I felt relief. Overwhelming. Relief, but also a strange grief for the life I'd started mentally preparing for. Some part of me was bracing to become a dad, to do it anyway. Now that door is closed. Julia unraveled. She broke down when the test came back. Through tears, she admitted she had been praying the baby was mine, that she'd convinced herself it was because the truth was too painful. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Then I remembered everything. The lies, the manipulation, the public smearing, the pressure to do the right thing for a child that wasn't mine. I confronted her about Lexi's confession. At first she denied it. Then she crumbled. Admitted to sleeping with a coworker after a company party. Claimed it meant nothing, that she was drunk, that it was a fluke. Then I asked if there were others. She hesitated, then admitted there was one more, early in our relationship. So, at minimum, 3 known betrayals. God knows how many I never found out about, and she still wanted me to be the father of her child. To pretend like it never happened. The man who is the father. One of the Miami guys. She reached out to both. One blocked her. The other, the married one, is going through a divorce and wants nothing to do with the baby. Valerie told me the guy is trying to spin it like he was too drunk to be responsible. No one's buying it. Julia's now facing single motherhood. Alone. The same family that called me a coward? They're rallying around her now. The shame machine flipped directions. And me? I'm free. Not just of her, but of the doubt, the weight, the wondering. I'm not the man they tried to paint me as. I didn't abandon anyone. I protected myself. I walked away from a slow-burning lie. And I survived it. That chapter is over. I'm closing the book. Time has done its work. Therapy helped me untangle the knots Julia left behind. The betrayal no longer lingers like it used to. I don't carry her choices into new relationships. Those belong to her, not me. The legal and financial chaos. Settled. Costly, yes. But the clarity it brought was worth every cent. Last week, she finally picked up the last box from storage. There's nothing left connecting us. No paperwork, no possessions. Just distance. Valerie and I still catch up now and then. A strange comfort grew from our shared wreckage. She's seeing someone new now. Happy, grounded. We laugh sometimes, wondering how our exes accidentally introduced us to one of the few genuine people in our lives. I thought that was where the story ended. Then last week, I saw Julia again. It was at a small coffee shop downtown. She looked worn down, thinner, hair cropped short. The bright, confident woman I once knew seemed hollowed out. No child with her. Just her, alone. She noticed me before I could walk away. I hesitated. She asked if we could talk. I agreed, cautiously. She didn't dodge or deflect. She looked straight at me and said, "I'm sorry, for all of it. Not just what I did, but the way I shut down after. You didn't deserve that. No excuses, no shifting blame. Just an honest reckoning." She spoke about her life now, raising a child on her own, the social fallout, the loneliness. One of the guys from Miami turned out to be the father, reluctantly paying child support, but refusing any involvement. Her parents are selling their home to move closer and help. Her career is limping along. She's in therapy too, trying to understand why she blew up her own future. "The worst part," she said, "is knowing I shattered something real. You truly loved me, and I broke that. I didn't say much. I'd let go of the fury a long time ago. What was left wasn't rage, just a quiet sadness for what never became." I thanked her for the apology and wished her well. As I got up, she asked one last thing. "Are you happy?" I thought of Melissa, of the places I've traveled, of the life I've rebuilt, piece by piece. "Yeah," I said. "I really am." She nodded, a soft, tired smile. "Good. You deserve to be." That short conversation brought more peace than a dozen therapy sessions. I didn't need closure. I'd already moved on. But seeing her own the damage out loud lifted the final weight. There's no bitterness now. No anger. Not even pity. Just the quiet truth. Some people make choices that tear their own lives apart. All you can do is step away and keep moving forward. 2 nights ago, I sat on a balcony with Melissa, watching the sunset. And it hit me. I'm genuinely thankful. Not because Julia suffered, not out of revenge, but because her betrayal forced me into a life I never would have chosen, but now wouldn't trade for anything. In trying to break me, she unintentionally gave me the space to find something real. So that's it. The end of a story I never imagined being part of. To anyone still in the thick of it, keep going. The pain loses its edge. And on the other side, you might find something better than you ever thought possible. Thanks for listening. If this meant something to you, like, share, or subscribe. But more than anything, take care of your heart.